Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Director's Commentary on Wolfpack Hustle. I'll keep this short. It's really good to see you. I'm so glad you're watching these and I hope you're enjoying them. That being said, let's dive right into it. Thanks.
When you talk about picking,
all right, so we've got
going to college for the school,
3 episodes left, 2 episodes left,
think the
something like that.
element is important.
Winding down to the end of our first season.
About a guy who's signing in a particular sport, as in basketball, you're gonna go and play for the coach who you build a relationship with. You're gonna go.
Any excuse I can have to use scenic footage of campus, I'll take it, just because it's really pretty in the fall. Even though at this point, this episode probably aired in late February, March.
You have to start with your school. I think that's the most important thing. You start with the academic piece, and obviously at NC State, you can get an unbelievable education. It's a great institution. You talk about the city of Raleigh, and you talk about our campus life.
So this is very much a recruiting segment, I guess. We talk a little bit about the school, talk a little about the educational factor of it.
But when I do get into the basketball,
it's not like the sexy part, but it is, it is one of the main reasons why student athletes are able to be student athletes.
You look at those three things.
The whole idea that they're getting education. You hope that they get value out of the education as well. Ooh, fresh beats. I don't know what song that is, but I like it.
I know it's getting into late February, and I still think we have a long ways to go. I still think we have a lot to learn. It wouldn't be fair for these guys in year one to try to put 100% in my program in. And so for me, I wanted to make sure I gave them baby steps and worked up to 75%, and I think we're getting there. All right, here we go. Hey, main batches, we stay.
So with 2 to 3 episodes left, 3 episodes left,
Right here.
it's
Come on. Right here.
definitely winding down, definitely feeling how long the television season has been since beginning filming
You got to move with him.
at the end of July the previous year.
Because anytime he's coming off, you got to do that. Good hands. Get it front now. Good. Good job. Rebound it. Good. Perfect, Sam. Stay down on that initial one. Stay down. Give me another one. Good talk on that. Hey, now you see the theme of it. Curls, curls, curls. That's where you want him at, outside third. So when he gets it, don't rush him. Okay? Now
The benefit of
and then the 4 or the 3 will come right back to a spot when he's
being
got the ball
a very,
right here.
very
But
limited
we're not
crew,
rushing him, you don't want to trap him.
especially when it comes
Run
to
that
like
again. Get up a little
filming
bit. You
and
got anything that
editing
goes back,
practice
I gotta go.
sessions, like
Throw it
mic'd
up
up
here.
stuff,
Take it out.
is that I'm filming for the whole
Keep it over
practice,
there,
and then
TD.
when I go over the footage
Go ahead.
after I've shot everything, I already have an idea
Go. You come
of
all the way
what
with him.
clips
all
I'm
the
going
way
to
right
use.
Taking him away. Not open
And that helps
anymore.
expedite the
Taking that
process.
guy
Like if
away.
I filmed
Pass it.
everything
Trap
and then
him.
I gave it to someone else
Good.
to
You got a
then
filter here.
look through, label, and put together
Right
a
at the
story,
top of the key.
it would
Take
take them a
that
little bit
All right,
longer.
let's go. Full speed with it.
Granted, it would, in a minimal setup, that you can't really have too many people. You can't afford too many people to help work on your production. So you kind of have to do what you can on your own. You have to be efficient with your time and your effort and your memory card space and your battery power. Like you have to pick and choose what you film. You can't be rolling the whole time,
You got a very good basketball team.
as much as we would like to.
But you're better if you take your business, and you got to do it on the defensive end. We got to.
So it's helpful that
because they're going to take. They will take a
by
lot
the time I have cut the show completely together, it's like the 3rd or 4th time that I have looked through,
Oh, yeah, let's go.
that I've looked at the footage that has been
Forward.
filmed.
1, 2, 3. Forward.
Initially when I do it, then when I review it, and I'm like labeling it, logging it, and then when I'm starting together a rough cut, and I put the final cut together. Yeah, a couple different times I've seen the footage.
Now, you know I like A games. Okay? I don't like B work. Okay? So everybody step up and bring your A game. I want everybody excited about playing. All guys on the bench be ready to go. When you come in the game, affect the game in a positive way. That's what it's all about. Stick together. We're learning how to do that. Play as hard as you can and have as much fun as you can. Let's go. Do it for Sam, man.
Sam's birthday. Hopefully they get a win.
Right back to Johnson, picked off by Bowman. Bowman on a breakaway, Jansen. Johnson against Chapman, drives the foul line up for a shot. He's stripped, and the ball comes back toward the midcourt line where Chapman picks it up, drives the basket, scores.
Those two dudes are really good. They were at Boston College.
Stolen away by Bowman, 2-on-1 to Chapman, back to
Bowman and Chapman are really good.
We got 60 on. That's all it is. Okay? Now let's play up. We spotted them 60 rolls, but they ain't going nowhere. Now score.
Here's Beverly with it in the midcourt area. High screen by year 7. Beverly drives to his left. They double it. Now to Dorn. Open. Dorn driving. Spins down the lane to the basket. Shoots a runner. Glass. No. Rebound. Back up and good by Dorn. Now let down Freeman. Freeman down the floor driving. Right corner to Beverly. 3 ball in the air. Good. Sam Hunt controls right wing. Steps back. Shoots a 3 and he hits it deep right. Chapman throws
Oh, birthday bucket.
Right baseline. Shoots. Misses. Nobody can hit the basket. Rebound Beverly, headman pass to Freeman. Freeman down the floor, shoots a runner, banks it in. High screen by Yurt 7. Beverly drives to his right. He's double teamed to Yurt 7. Right underneath, jams it. Robinson drives left hand.
The ref almost got out of the way. So close.
Down the floor to Sam Hunt. Pulls up, fires for 3.
Any chance I could take to show a slam dunk back to back, a block back to back, I take it. Just adds to the impact of the play.
Diagonal pass to Freeman. Fires for 3 and he hit it. Back to the ball in the front court. Here's Beverly to Abu. Abu, left elbow. He rises. He fires. He hits. Johnson with the ball for State in the front court to Beverly. Fires for 3. Got it over Bowman. What a quick release by Beverly. Abu picks him up. Bowman's going to take him all the way to the basket. Stops left block. Fires and hits. 24-16. State with the ball in the lead. Here's Johnson driving the lane to Sam Hunt. Corner jumper. Good for 3 from the left side for Sam Hunt. 3 threes for Sam Hunt.
Hey, I won't stop now. Auburn taking all the shots. Let's go.
Still man-to-man defense by BC. Now they're looking zone as they go to Beverly left wing. Shoots, hits a 3. He got it over Chapman.
Yeah, same with threes. Show them multiple times. Why not?
Gets the left wing to Chapman. Puts it on the deck. One dribble to his right. Fires a jumper. Good for 2. Johnson driving. Lobs for Yurt 7. Jams it in. Rebound to State. Al Freeman with it down the floor to Beverly. Shoots for 3 in transition. Good from the right side. Up top of the key to Chapman. Drives the lane. Layup good. Abu puts it on the deck.
Very straightforward edit.
Lobs the pass in low. Freeman catches, scores. Al Freeman with the outlet. Up the sideline to Johnson. Into the corner for Beverly's 3. Bullseye. Beverly is unconscious.
Oh, man. Look at that. That was a difference. Started off down 6, then did all that.
Who you can help off of. All right? Know the helper. We're telling you from the sideline. Coach Hamilton's telling you, know if you're a helper, help. You know the 3 guys that are going to take the shot. Good job, Braxton. Good job shooting it. Other than that, we passed the ball well. Sam, good job shooting the basketball. Okay? Get out and run and wake up. We're not getting the loose ball. It's too many of them just flying around. Come on, some of you guys' body language is bad. Let's go, man. Come on, it's basketball. It's crunch time. If you ain't in it, do it for the team.
Yurt 7 bounces out on the wing. In low to Dorn. Layup good. Kraljevic into the game. Screens for Bowman. Drives the basket. Scores. Dorn jumper in and out. No good. Rebound. Freeman back up. Good. Leonard Freeman on the follow. Robinson linked to the floor. Drive. Puts it up good. Freeman doesn't have numbers. 1-on-3. Going to take it to the basket anyway. Shoots. Scores. Basket counts and a foul. Outlet to Markel Johnson. Johnson down the floor. Baseball pass. Left corner to Sam Hunt. Shot in the air. Good for 3. Freeman driving out left wing. Now back to the basket. Goes Freeman. Layup good to foul.
There he goes again.
Johnson's got it in 4th gear. Johnson lobs for the Dorn. He jams it.
That was nice.
Rises, steps back. Shoots for 3 with 1 on the shot clock. He got it.
When you're hot, you are hot.
4 to shoot. Freeman driving to the elbow. Fadeaway jumper. Good. The shot clock went to 0 just as the ball went in. There's the horn and State wins. Final score, the Wolfpack 82. The Boston College Eagles 66.
Winning don't get old, so when I come in here and do time to jump, I want everybody to get up except for Sam. I know he don't get that high off the ground.
Sims 31.
And what happens to players this time of year? Every player in the country allowed themselves to make excuses. And your excuses are, man, I'm tired. I don't feel good. You know, I'm a little beat up. Well, let me ask you something. You don't think everybody else will make other
I feel like I must be letting things run long in this episode.
Nobody's dogging it. I'm not saying that. But when you don't
Like the game wasn't really that exciting. It was just a bunch of highlights on our part. I showed a lot of them. And then kind of just looking at this locker room footage stuff, I could definitely cut some stuff out.
But it's got a great chance to affect you.
I mean, granted, it's nice to kind of let these moments play out so that the viewer can get an idea, can get a feeling of what it is like to be in this locker room. Very much, we talk about access, and this very much feels like an all-access type of scene because we're letting things play along.
I'm gonna do better next time. Okay? Appreciate it. Tell Sam.
And moments like this are helpful, especially when you are feeling
It's important. So you have to be able to
the effort that you have been putting in for 7 months or whatever.
That's what championship
You
teams do.
feel a little
At this point now,
lethargic. You feel
it's not about points.
not uninspired, but searching for ways to
That's all it's about.
liven things up, to freshen things up.
Unbelievable championship team.
So when it comes to, if you just want to talk about content, moments like this help because they fill time. And they're not unimportant.
Every player
But
to be on the same page in order for us to do that. Okay?
when you're struggling with maybe keeping things upbeat, keeping things fresh,
But it starts with you guys
these moments become a crutch.
have to build a championship program from this point on.
And I'll admit, sometimes that's exactly how I used them. I needed to fill time for whatever reason.
I can't thank y'all enough for checking out this episode of Director's Commentary. If you are enjoying what you are watching and you want to help support some of the stuff that I'm making, I would deeply, deeply be humbled if you consider becoming a patron. You can check out the Patreon link in the description below. Becoming a patron comes with all kinds of cool perks, and it helps me make more stuff, both in quality and in quantity, and it really would just mean the world to me. Okay, please resume watching.
And what type of coach I am and the relationship that I
Yeah, like how do you? I'm always curious about how coaches sell themselves to recruits, or sell a program to recruits, or sell a school to recruits.
as a college basketball athlete and being able to
Because coaches rotate. They'll be at one school, then another school, then another school. I mean, the legendary coaches will be at one school for ages, but when
they have prepared us.
when coaches go from school to school,
Even though they're not dressed, we give them a little piece of the win.
like
Because in practice,
they're obviously selling the idea of playing successful basketball and getting education at a really good school, but that they think that no matter where they are, and at some point, every school is a good school. Every program is the best program, because with a rotation of coaches, not a rotation of coaches, but when a head coach is at one school and then he's at another school and then he's at another school, he's basically having the same pitch with obviously nuances. But I'm just always curious about how they balance that well without seeming trite.
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to leave the school. I just knew this would be
So for this episode, we are approaching the end of the season, like I said, so we decided to focus on transfer players,
started getting a lot of looks
which
in colleges, and
in this day and age,
Keith came to see me at the AAU tournament.
2023 that we're in right now, the transfer portal is huge,
That was one thing I was looking
because
for.
more regularly students are playing 1 year at a school and then immediately entering the transfer portal. For a variety of reasons, it could be that the school's not a right fit. It could be like creative differences, for lack of a better term. It could be they're moving closer to home. They could be moving to a smaller school where they might get more playing time. There's a variety of different reasons why this happens. So for this episode, which aired back in 2018, the plethora of transfers that Coach brought in was kind of unique at the time.
Like they stayed truthful, and like they showed me their real self, like on the visit, and that they would,
So there's got a player from UNC Wilmington, got a player from Utah, got a player from University of Missouri. So kind of from all over, which is pretty cool. So to get an opinion, or get the opinion of the guys who transferred in, why they came here, I feel like it was important, because if you've got an episode that's more or less a recruiting pitch, which there's nothing wrong with that, what better way than to hear from student athletes who went to one school and then came to this one? Like, what are the reasons? And I feel like that is, I feel like that was an important story to tell for this episode. Because these guys, they can't see playing time. Back the old rule was when you transfer, you have to sit out a year. And so they're in practice and doing all that, but they're not on the court with the team. They're on the bench, hyping everybody up. But I felt it was curious to understand why they came to NC State, because they had already decided to go to another school and went there, and then decided, I'm going to come back or whatever. Or I'm going to transfer to this school. Because for me personally, actually, when I was in school, I was at NC State. Probably after one semester, I thought about transferring, just because for a variety of reasons. Like, I felt like I wasn't quite fitting in. I felt like there were other things that I maybe missed about, like my core group of friends in high school. I'm glad I stayed at NC State, but people have those thoughts about what if I went to another school.
NC State was a big part of my life, UNC and Duke, but now State's the only school for me.
Like, I'm from like a small city in Michigan.
Yes, so these guys, like Blake, he grew up around North Carolina, and
their 11th grade year, because we're like the
so he had kind of a connection to at least the locale.
Drop out like their junior year of high school and start working in a factory, so nobody really makes out.
And with Devin here, he didn't really have a connection in North Carolina, but it was just looking at schools. Played at Utah, then decided to come to NC State.
Coach Keats, he was going to come in and do great things.
And then CJ Bryce was at UNC Wilmington, which was where Coach Keats was the year prior. So when Coach Keats decided to take the NC State job, CJ came with him. So with the three of those guys, there's just already a variety of reasons why they came to NC State.
Keats and some of the assistants already too. So when I got the call, I knew it was right for me.
My trainer, we were just talking about it. He said you just got to go somewhere where you can, feel comfortable on and off the court. They've treated me the same since they first called me on the phone. Since I got here, they were 100% transparent the whole time, and I love them for that.
I always remember interviewing Devin, because he had a very specific explanation of what folks from his hometown end up doing. And it was basically they either get out of the town or they end up working in a factory. And I'm pretty sure it's the Post cereal factory. Not 100% on that, but it was just a very specific, like, it was either this or this. And sometimes you hear like, oh, people either get in trouble or they get out, or they get in trouble or they play. It's like there's different kinds of examples of people describing what ends up happening to people that stay in one specific place.
Good, Blake. Good shot. Good. Ride that thing off, CJ. Ride it out.
I don't think that's fair to families when you try to sell something that they want to hear. And so I don't ask assistant coaches, what do I need to say? I think it's important that you sell your program yourself and your school, and if they like it, then that's an opportunity for them.
I feel if you watch TV or movies where a kid is being recruited to a school for athletics, and they sometimes like paint the person recruiting like in a not flattering light, like kind of gross, like just basically saying whatever that person needs to say in order to get this particular kid to come to their school. When in reality, actual college recruiting, more often than not, they're being honest with them, being like, hey, if you come to our school, you will be expected to work hard. You be expected to earn your spot. It's not a guarantee that you'll start, or it's not a guarantee that you'll be this position. And I think that's the actuality. That's what actually happens for a lot of these recruiting visits that coaches have with players and their families. But more often than not, the version we see in popular fictional media is that the person recruiting is kind of just saying whatever they need to say to get, it's kind of like used car salesman energy. It's like, what do I need to do to get you in this school today? But oftentimes that's not actually the case. It's coming from a place that is more honest, that is more well-being. Granted, it's not 100%, but that's something that often goes underrepresented in popular media.
Whether your son plays 20 minutes or 40 minutes, it's important that the relationship is that we have a great relationship, because they know that while they're here, I'm going to treat their child with respect, and I'm going to be fair to them.
As important as I thought some of the messaging in this episode was, I think I'm a little disappointed with this one. It just seemed slow to me. It seemed like there wasn't going on. Obviously, if you're listening, you could tell I didn't really talk that much for the first half. I couldn't really think of anything new that I hadn't said already in previous episodes. But I do thank you for watching.
One, two, three. All right. Let's go.
Thank y'all so much for watching today. If you have any comments or questions about what you saw, please feel free to leave them in the comments section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you enjoy these videos and you want to stay up to date on other directors' commentaries or other videos I do put out, go ahead and hit subscribe, as well as ringing the bell so you get a notification every time I do make something new. And if you want to further support the stuff that I'm making, I would be so humbled if you considered becoming a patron. Becoming a patron comes with all kinds of cool perks, even outside of director's commentaries. Yeah, but that's about it. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.